Elul, Anila Dodi, Vidodi Li, Hara'eba Shoshanim, the famous acronym of the month of Elul, I am to my beloved is to me. I'd like to try to understand, what is this relationship about of Anila Dodi, Vidodi Li, that I am to my beloved is to me. How do we characterize this relationship? I'd like to begin this year with an idea that we spoke about many years ago. And the first few minutes will really be a recap of that shir, and then we're going to take it into a different direction with different insights. The Sfas Emes describes the whole essence of the relationship of Elul in the Kriyuch Siv of Mizmor LaToda. We take a look at the 100th chapter of Tehillim. It describes that Hashem, Hu Asanu v'lo anachnu, we are His. He Hu Asanu, He made us. V'lo anachnu. Lo anachnu is written in the Tehillim with an aleph, and we are nothing. But we explain it. The Kri is Lo anachnu, which is indeed the way the Art School translates it, and two, we are His, we belong to Hashem. Says the Sfas Emes in source 3, quoting his grandfather, Al Chodesh Elul Shahem Lo v'lo anachnu Kriyuch Si b'Mizmor LaToda U'Peirush Hadavar Kol Echad. Continuing quoting, Shekafi Ma Shelo Anachnu Kein Lo Anachnu Ki Begasus Ein Ani V'Hu Yecholim Ladur. Says the Sfas Emes, you want to know what Elul is about? You want to know what the relationship is about? The relationship is about, to the extent that we're able to reach the level of Lo Anachnu, that we're able to have humility, that we're able to nullify ourselves, to that extent, Lo Anachnu, then we're able to have with the Vav a relationship with Hashem, we belong to Him. Because as we know, the Talmud teaches us that when a person is filled with pride, God says, you and I can't live in the same place together. When you're Lo Anachnu with an aleph, when you are able to nullify yourself, when you're able to have this feeling of I'm nothing with an aleph, then Lo Anachnu, to that extent we become belonging with the Vav to Hashem. Chodesh Elul, the Anila Dodi v'Dodi Li relationship, is very much about these two dimensions. The Lo Anachnu, the nullification of self with an aleph, and the Lo Anachnu with the Vav. Let's very briefly look at what is the Lo Anachnu with an aleph about, and spend more time in Mirz Hashem on the Lo Anachnu with the Vav. The idea of nullifying ourselves is very much a concept that's found in Rabbi Tatz's World Mask, where he says that this was really the ordeal of Adam Harishon. Adam Harishon, whether he should eat from the tree or not, was torn between obedience and what seemed like freedom. Obedience meant performing the Creator's will, and in so doing bonding with Him. But it also seemed to require the yielding of human independence. And this is the deepest battle. Adam was commanded not to eat of the tree of the knowledge. Obedience to that command was all that was required. But Adam felt that such a relationship lacked a significant part on his part. Would it not be better, this is based on Rav Dessler and other Mefarshim, would it not be better, Adam Harishon reasoned to himself, that if I were to eat of the tree, and I were to lower myself into the midst of evil, and then be able to serve God, would this not be a greater sanctification of God's name? Adam Harishon felt that just passive obedience, not to eat from the tree, was limiting who he was. He was capable of far greater. He was capable of being able to assert himself, assert his whole being, and in that way make a decision wherein he thought, what we call an Aveira L'Shma, he could serve Hashem even higher. And this is the point to understand in the asterisk in 6. In every action of human free choice, which is in contradiction to divine command, there's a powerful illusion of independence. No one tells me what to do. There's an assertion of self, which is heady in its potency. But in every action, which is in contradiction to divine command, there is death. If Hashem is the definition of existence, then any action against Him, no matter how powerful its sense of reality, is an action out of existence. The nature of human emotion is such that there's resistance to doing that which is commanded from outside the self. In such obedience lies a negation of self, a negation of desire, and at that deepest level of the personality, which is the seat of free choice. And this was what was so challenging and so difficult for Adam HaRishon. On the one hand, to listen to God. On the other hand, he wanted to assert himself. And here Rabbi Tat says, we've quoted this very often, it's a great refrigerator magnet in Source 10. And here is the paradox. While man asserts his independence, he is nothing. Merely a small bundle of protoplasm asserting the scope of his smallness. But when he annuls his independence, negates his ego, he melts into the reality of a greater existence and thereby achieves real existence. And that is why Moshe Rabbeinu, who was the most honored, the most humble of everybody, was the greatest prophet to ever live.